Again, if you were with us last night outside of Columbia University in New York City, we're walking up right now to where there's a large gathering of folks outside of the fences. Last night, Hamilton Hall, which has this banner hanging off of it right there, was taken over by some students. Not sure what's been going on today. We've come back and forth. A lot of different announcements made by the administration saying that they were expelling the students who took over the building, and along with closing off a lot of building, moving everything to virtual. So we're going to walk in here, we're going to walk through, you're going to see all the folks that are gathered here along with a massive amount of press. Here they are. Again, I'm Lorenzo Serna, Director of Tactical Media here at the NDN Collective. Chicane, they, them, going in. You can see people are having conversations. I'm going to walk down this aisleway. And so you can see there's some students on the other side. So it's supposed to be a march. I'm not sure where it's at, if it exists, or this is it. I'm not sure. We're just here right now. Educators saying solidarity with college, university, faculty, and students for free speech. Now, Columbia, NYU, MIT, USC, Penn, Harvard, all different students who have taken space. Oh, yes, you can see there's more folks over here, and then there's like I wouldn't call it like a massive police presence, but there's a lot of police. No matters what you feel about how many police you've seen in the past. And they're hanging out here, you know, so they are. They have their own pin, it looks like. I'm not sure what, like, moving in and out of the university is like right now. This guy.
Palestine to the U.S. Revolution, nothing left.
So yeah, there you go. This vehicle's fun. Has like a variety of antenna on the bottom top. It's probably just scooping up everything around it. Oh wow, there's like little side panels and shit. It might be like a media vehicle. There's a lot of media vehicles with a bunch of different stuff sticking out. We'll just keep a walk around for a little bit. Let's see. People handing out literature and propaganda. I like to call it the leftist exchange. Yeah, this is Telemundo, it looks like. No more satellite dishes. Directional antennas. Alright, so it looks like this is, students are entering. I'm not going to show their IDs. They scan in. That's what they're doing there. It looks like students can't enter the campus. That's a face streamer with a camera. Real voice of America. And see all the folks. Solidarity. A cast of different sort of streamers and videographers for different shticks here. Again, so if you're just joining us, you don't know what's going on. Again, this is Encampment. It's been here since April 17th. Under a lot of duress, a lot of attacks by the NYPD, who are allowed in right away. When they first got established, got reestablished. And now it's been holding strong. Last night they took over this building, right below it. I got this monopod, so I can't. There we go. Look up. So we're going to work and see if we can try to interview a few people. Again, just wanted to bring folks out here, show you what's going on, what is happening, what it looks like on the ground. I think most of the media reports are always going to be like the most extravagant thing that happened, and most of it's just going to be this. This is this person. What's up?
Lucha Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Lucha, lucha Palestina! Lucha, lucha Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Lucha, lucha Palestina! Lucha, lucha Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Lucha, lucha Palestina! Lucha, lucha Palestina!
I can see what it is. It's a tethered drone. It's attached to a Taru vehicle below it, which is like the police's tactical response unit. They have the cameras. So if you ever see the cops out here in New York City, they're holding cameras, usually Taru. And so they also have a drone. And I'm not sure it's tethered. I'm not sure if it's like streaming into the vehicle or how it's working, but it's there. So we just have people on the inside leading chants across the fence. Alright, we'll lock down this again. That's what we're going to be doing for a little bit. Okay, we just wanted to show you, I don't know how long we're going to be live. We're just going to be here for a little bit. There's a lot of press, a lot of people. Alright, there's the aisleway. Alright, there we go. I can see here. Oh, you walk back. Oh, I saw him. That's exciting. Alright, let's keep out the fence and let's wait and just hang out. That's what we're here for, I suppose. So again, we were here last night, I think at like 2 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning.
Palestine on fire! You're a liar! You set Palestine on fire! And you shall speak, shame on you! You arrest your students too! You shall speak, shame on you! You arrest your students too! You shall speak, you can't hide! You prophet of genocide! You shall speak, you can't hide! We can't do a genocide! You shall speak, you can't hide! We can't do a genocide! We can't do a genocide! You shall speak, you can't hide! You shall speak, you can't hide! You can't do a genocide! You prophet of genocide! You prophet of genocide! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free! From the sea to the river, Palestine will live forever! From the sea to the river, Palestine will live forever! Freedom and liberation! And the Zionist occupation! Freedom and liberation! And the Zionist occupation! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! Occupation no more!
We're trying to find some interviews for you all, so let's give us a second. We're going to try to see if we can get these interviews. Let's just stay here, hold this shot for a little bit. We'll be with you in a second. Thanks for joining in. Let people know we are live. Like, follow, share. We share to other folks. You know how it goes.
Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israel is a racist state! Israel is a racist state! There is only one solution! There is only one solution! Intifada revolution! Intifada revolution! There is only one solution! There is only one solution! Intifada revolution! Intifada revolution! Intifada! Intifada! Intifada!
This must have some gear a second. Give me a moment. I am Lorenzo. Nice to meet you too. We're live, so it's just unfolding. Yeah. Just let me know if you're ready to talk for this. So we're trying to get an interview of some different Indigenous students here. Again, we're an Indigenous organization dedicated to the self-determination of Indigenous people. You can go read it. We're in solidarity with the people of Palestine. Anybody who's resisting this out of the United States. And yeah, so we came out here to kind of show our folks, people who follow us, what's going on the ground. Again, to try to make sure to dispel this information that's rampantly out there. A lot of people is sharing what they think is going on, and here's what's actually going on. Much people are chanting chants. Pretty chill, you know, based on how you feel about crowds, I guess. And we're going to see if we can speak to somebody about just what they're out here doing, why they're here, and why they're in solidarity with Indigenous people. We're hoping to get a couple of interviews today. And we're just going to kind of roll with what happens. Again, this is live. There's no real certainty what will go on. Things usually just unfold. Like, we were here when they took over this building. We missed they hung the banner outside of the window. We totally didn't even see it happen, even though it was right next to us. And that's what it's like. So. Anyways, we're just talking to folks. We're trying to figure out how to get some interviews. Again, most of the students until not talking to the press, which if you kind of watch this unfold at the beginning, it makes a lot of sense. There's so much disinformation, you know, just ongoing sort of statements of what was happening with really like no evidence. You can see there's some Jewish folks just hanging out, just talking. People say it's you know, I don't know, this just, you can decide for yourself what it seems like. People just seem to be having conversations. Again, I don't know, I can't tell who's on whose side or whatever. Those people are hanging out, multiple different kinds of folks. Different body types, backgrounds, religious beliefs, all this hanging out in the streets. It's in New York City. There is a lot of folks here. This is the radio station, WKCR. They've been doing a lot of the students, journalism students, a lot of people, like students, like platforms have been really the ones reporting what's actually happening on the ground because it's their community. Everyone else is outsider. All right. Okay, we're going to have an interview, everybody. It's going to happen. I don't know how well you're going to be able to hear it. I'm thinking pretty good. But we'll see. I'm feeling quite confident. I think this little microphone's going to pull it through for us today. We're going to be interviewing an Indigenous journalism student here in Colombia, talking about their experience being here and how they feel. I guess the media has been covering this event. And just general feels, you know what I'm saying? Just like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? What brings you out here? Why should people care? You know, my question's pretty open. I just want people to tell us why they're here. My belief is that you got to collect a lot of voices to understand what's actually going on. So it'd be nice to really talk to a lot of folks, but I also understand a lot of mistrust for the press, a lot of like And then when you watch the news tonight, there's like a minute 30 clip. There was probably 40 minutes of footage and stuff. They're picking very select things that are going to cause an emotional response. You know, that's what's happening all the time. Hey, hi. So, do you want to come up front and just talk right at the mic? And just introduce you. Do you want to say hello?
Yeah, hello.
Okay. We're going to move back a little bit just so people can hear a little better. All right. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello. My name is Alistair Lee Bitsoy. I'm from the Navajo Nation, but I'm based here in New York City in Manhattan. I'm a Columbia journalism student. I'm in the science concentration at the journalism school, and where I'm at usually is Pulitzer Hall, where all the action is taking place, the pro-Palestinian encampment on campus at Morningside. Today, I'm not allowed on campus because of the students who are in Hamilton Hall camped out and taking hostage of the building in solidarity for ending the genocide in Palestine, or the Gaza conflict. And so as a student, it's conflicting in part because not only am I Indigenous and NDN, but also, like, I'm a student here, I have to study and I have to, like, figure out how to navigate when I can be an advocate and not, and especially when it comes to journalism as a field where this objectivity rule can be problematic in framing stories like this conflict. And so it's a lot of navigation, a lot of pivoting, a lot of, like, how do you be a storyteller and tell the facts of the climate of the world in Gaza right now. And so I navigate that right now because of the animosity or the conflict that's between the student groups and then the administration. It's escalating to like day 14 now this semester. And so, like, I'm even thinking, like, well, I even have a graduation because I graduate this year as a student. Like, oh, how safe is it for my family to come here and visit from the Navajo Nation? Or, like, how do I put on the academic concept of being a student, but also, like, an advocate for human lives? And, like, so there's three, I guess, I don't know if it's three different realms I have to navigate as a student here, but just being a person that's Indigenous that's living here in this city.
Okay, a lot of questions. Like, you mentioned safety. I guess what's the elements that make you feel unsafe?
Well, I feel good. I just feel like because of the I've learned. I didn't know that. I knew Columbia was an Ivy League school, but I didn't know that it had this influence and association with Israel and the Jewish students. So you see, I guess I was broadly aware, but it wasn't until I got into campus and I saw, oh, all this money is coming from that part of the world that's creating all this unnecessary debt. And so that kind of, like, right now I don't feel proud to be part of Columbia. Like, I feel like I'm just going through the motion to finish the assignments, to graduate, to, like, figure out how to coexist with all of this. And it's also similar to the Indigenous narrative, sadly, of, like, genocide. So I definitely see the conflict of, not the conflict of that, but just the historical realities of overcoming genocide and resiliency and still being here today.
I mean, can you speak to that history of genocide that exists here in the United States? Like, we're at Columbia University. You have Tochagita that's got hung up.
Yeah.
We'll look at that in a second. But Columbia University is named after Columbus.
Columbus, yeah. So that's like it's another conflict that I guess you have to somehow reconcile. I don't know if I'll ever reconcile with it, but like just kind of acknowledge that and be aware of it, but not totally embrace it. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm not proud, like, with everything that's happened this academic school year. And it's always been the case, but it was just, you know, the conflict got intense in the Middle East, and that's where all of this, like, came to be on campus, where students are exercising their right to free speech under the so-called U.S. Constitution.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's where I am. And as a student, I've been around the encampment, but I'm not yet in the encampment because I have my obligations to study and like tell stories after I'm done with this program.
Yeah, so I guess that was my question. You had mentioned that You're a journalism student.
Yeah.
And so you're learning how to tell stories, report on what's happening, and then you're in the middle of an international event.
Right.
And I guess what conflicts are you running into that you're not learning, I guess, or what would you wish you expanded on?
I've learned that, like, at the school of thought is more like objectivity. But I think as Indigenous people, we're not. That's, like, for me, I've advocated in my classes, like, this objectivity rule needs to be dissolved. It doesn't, like, this is human lives. Like, take off your journalism hat. Like, look at it from a human perspective. Like, this conflict is killing innocent people. And so that's where I had to navigate. Then I'm like, oh, well, there's obviously, like, gaps in the reportage, so I have to put on my journalism hat again and then fill in the gap of reportage that I see that needs to be told. And so, like, I feel like those are struggles from a storyteller, but also a journalistic standpoint that I struggle with and navigate with this, like, all of it happening.
I guess, are you saying, like, the gaps are the lack of humanity?
Yes, the lack in humanity in the media coverage.
Yeah.
And the framing of the stories. Like, even the administration saying the Jewish students are the ones who are being, like, all of this is harming more so the Jewish students than is the actual Palestinian students. And so, like, that's what I mean. Like, that framing needs to shift to the Palestinian perspective. And it's not told that way.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying that they're not talking about the fact that in Palestine people are dying every day, children, the elderly are being literally bombed in camps. They're finding mass graves. That's not part of the conversation.
That's not part of the conversation here. It's just more like, oh, the privileged Jewish people are, like, harmed, and we got to protect them.
Yeah. And then the students are here like, we gotta stop what's happening over there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get there.
It doesn't get there. It just ends up here with the money.
Yeah. What are your hopes after, I guess, I mean...
Well, after I finish the studying of this program in a week or two, I want to begin centering Indigenous narratives to this conflict, this story. I want to report on it. I haven't yet reported on it. I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to escalate even more so, but, like, I hope it doesn't. But at some point, I'm going to pull out my reporter pen and write stories that I think need to be told by talking to Indigenous students here on campus who have been in the encampment or who are peripherally around the encampment on campus as students trying to navigate higher education.
Well, I don't know, any last words, any last thoughts you want to say to your relatives back home, like folks watching?
Well, obviously world peace. I mean, I do want the genocide to end, and I am, as a human, I'm pro-Palestine. As a storyteller, I would want the media to hear that perspective more.
Yeah.
And even the solidarity of Indigenous peoples in America, it's the similar fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's...
I mean, I know I kind of asked this, so how is it a similar fight? Can you lay that out for somebody?
I mean, land back, you know, like the destruction of capitalism, you know, like just that whole idea or ideology or value to end these structural systems that create inequities in the first place across the world.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
That's great. I love talking to you. Thank you. Thanks for talking to me.
All right, so we spoke to a journalism student who's been on campus here as this has been unfolding, who's working on finishing their journalism degree, Indigenous student, Dene. Just talking about trying to hold all these different narratives at the same time and seeing that what they feel is lacking is taking the conversation away from what's happening on campus when this is actually supposed to be bringing attention to what's happening in Palestine, the unfolding, the genocide there. So that was great. Thank you so much for talking to us. We're going to see if we can talk to some more folks. So thanks for joining us. Wish the best to that young student, and I hope they have a really good career in whatever field they are. Whoever scoops them up out there, newsrooms. We need some more Indigenous people to tell the story of what happened here before the United States existed, as the United States came to exist, and led to what we're seeing today. It is a long, messy, complicated history, and maybe not so complicated to some folks, but it just needs to be told, and I think that's what we're hearing there. You know, all this doesn't happen in a vacuum. We're always leading here from the past. So, thanks. I like playing it over your head. Yeah, you're good. Thank you. What's up? Should I just like go lulls around for 20 minutes? All right. Thank you. I'll be back. I'm just gonna walk around. All right, everybody, you're stuck with me. We're working on one more interview. We're hoping they'll be here in about 20 minutes. Another Indigenous student who's been engaged in these encampments and are engaged in how they feel most comfortable to be engaged. Again, I think that people will just engage how they can, where they can, what works for them. And so we'll learn what that's like for our next interviewee, which may be here in 20 minutes. So you're going to get me for 20 minutes walking you around here. Should we go down this way? Let's go down that way. Let's go. So we're just going to move through here. You can see there's a lot of folks, different press people, different size cameras. Mine's real little. It's a good camera, very small setup on purpose so I can work in the crowd and not get super tangled up. Anyways, we're going to move on. Let's listen. Keep moving here. All right. So there's the old police officers hanging out. Walk around. There's another presser. All right, we're gonna go on this way now. This is very exciting. Let's go. So we have the NYPD hanging out, doing the things they do. Oh, look at this road. Oh, I think I can walk through here. So we're talking about Taru, folks. They have this tethered drone. That's them right there. I keep moving. If I stop moving, they'll come talk to me. It's pretty much the trend. But you can see all these media people with all their lights. Media. And they're going to stand up and look really well lit and nice. Oh, that's interesting. There's like two big vehicles down there flashing lights. It looks like they're the barricade vehicles, and they are barricading the road down the way. So if I look down, I can see they're barricading Amsterdam on West 115th. You can see right there. So they're barricading that road. I assume they're shutting down this road, assuming more people are coming, or I don't know exactly why, because there isn't really a whole bunch of folks, I would say. But now we got the whole road to walk in, so let's do that. We'll go look at the barricades being set up. I don't have like the best movement kit right now. I kind of was expecting not to be moving around a lot, and so I apologize if it's a little shaky, but that's just what we're doing today. Makes my life a little easier. I'm not going to go all the way down there. I think you've seen barricades before, but again, on West 114th on Amsterdam, there is now barricades blocking the road, and I assume the police are blocking the road further down as well. So we'll go ahead and walk over there. I mean, I don't know what their plan is, because it isn't like there's countless unruly folks by the gates. It seems like very organized group of people chanting within a pen. But, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do, I guess. So we go film the barricades going on. Anyways, here's the two NYPD vehicles. You can see them from afar. They're full of barricades. In case you're wondering how they get barricades up so quick, they literally have a truck full of barricades. So we have some well-dressed people over here talking to the police. Not sure. I don't know, they're well-dressed. Alright, there you go. I have now shown you the barricades. So, yeah, they want people to cross that way, and they're going to make a thin walkway that you have to go through and sort of to get here.
Let them pass. They're going this way, Captain. They're going this way. Captain.
Oh, the march just got there. That's what's going on. So I'm going to go head back. You can see they're in the streets. I think there was, like I said, there was going to be a march. It looks like they just got here. And folks are heading in my direction, so maybe I'll just hang out with them. So here's all shot collar, white shirts. So they just turned the corner here, and now they're heading towards where these barricades are at. They weren't here before, now they're here. And we'll see what happens. Folks are stopping to have a conversation. And they're opening up the way for them, it looks like. So I'm going to walk over here. So now they're moving these barricades out of the way. So whatever discussion and orders they had, they've now reversed it. They're moving press. And the march is just going to go through this little area. One officer is touching on somebody, but they're going to let him go by. I'm not sure what the plan was, but it didn't really make any sense, it looks like. And now people are just marching by. You can see that the higher-ups are on cell phones, probably talking and being like, what should we do? This march looks like a couple hundred people. It's not. He just pulled out his baton and put it away. It was they moved him out because he was getting agitated, and they tried to pull their officers out, catch him before they get like a sort of any reaction. And it looks like that's what they're doing to that dude. He got pulled out. He pulled his baton at the last minute and like slipped it away. So now they're yelling about the dude, the police officer, this guy. He's walking away. So now they're trying to get control of the road again. I'm just chilling. The march is gone. They just turned the corner, and now they're putting the barricades out. There you go. I don't know. I'm going to follow the march, I guess. Yeah, I don't understand. I guess I didn't go with the march. I have to find the rest of the folks I'm with, so I'm not going with that little thing that we just passed by. I think they're going to Kennedy. It was like 200 folks. I shouldn't say little. Definitely drew a crowd of police who got like kind of nervous, then confused, and then that was that. They like opened up the way and they left. Looks like one of the officers who we filmed pretty clearly got upset. You can see I think he's being talked to. That's him right there. By other folks, other white shirts, people in charge, allegedly. There you go. I'm going to head back this way because I'm with some folks and I'm worried that I'm going to get separated. So I think that the march is going to CUNY now, where there's still an encampment that is being threatened with a raid tomorrow morning. We won't be here, so you know. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I know they have all these trucks of barricades. They barricaded this road. There's nobody here anymore, and they're having a little discussion. Trying to decide what to do next. And people are jumping in there. I'm sure they're going to try to catch up to this march to barricade roads around it. My feeling most of the time is the police are trying to control space. The protests are trying to take space. Oh, here comes another march, it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stay in front of it because it's going to meet this line of barricades in a second. Very, I am confused, but that's how it goes, I guess. So this one's going this way. Looks like another group. I'm going to move back to where I was at, just sort of guessing where's a good point to be when these folks are all going to meet. It doesn't look like a lot of people, it's just a big banner. So I'll walk back over here. I'm going to hang out by a postal box. That's what I was using to keep me separated from the police. They wouldn't grab me. I wasn't in their way, in their heads. I also have a press pass. I'm holding the camera. It's very obvious. So they're heading this way. There's little barricades again. There's a little thin aisleway. Real normal. That's how they do it. Again, just want to control space, control how many people can move through space, so on and so forth. So you have these folks. And then they're just moving them out because they probably want them not to be all in mass. I don't know. I don't know the decision-making process. They're doing it on their own.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
So that's heading down West 114th Street. Heading west, I'm pretty sure. There you go.
Over 40,000 dead! Colombia, your hands are red! Colombia, your hands are red! Over 40,000 dead!
Yeah, it looks like my focus is off. You want to let me know. That's how it goes, I guess. So if these folks are heading that way, I'm going to head back to where we're at Columbia. Looks like there's another banner hung, so we're going to go look at that and then make a decision on what we're doing next. Yeah, it looks like folks are all redirecting to try to catch that march, maybe. There's still a lot of police here, a lot of police vehicles in their barricades, but they look like they're trying to redeploy themselves. Ish. Sorry about the focus. I thought I had fixed it, and I was incorrect. So the barricade trucks are heading east on West 115th. I'm only assuming they're heading to the other spot. They could also get just gotten to the other side. I have no idea. Oh, you're at the same. Thank you. I dropped something off my kit, and somebody picked it up for me. It's a piece that falls down every time. So now these fences are different.
I'll be honest. Yes, I know.
No, y'all good. We're all in this scrum together, if you will. What's up?
Palestine will live forever. Palestine will live forever. Palestine will live forever.
So the mayor of New York City is having a press conference right now where he's saying that the peaceful protests have been co-opted by professional outside agitators. Yeah, well, this is what that looks like then, I guess. There's like 2 helicopters overhead, and then you have the weird tethered. So it's like a tethered drone. Pretty sure it's like probably alive inside the vehicle. We're just trying to decide where we go. Some people are watching and understand. We're chilling here a minute. There was multiple marches went by, and we're just trying to decide if we stick here, go try to find a march, or what to do. The police barricade trucks did follow the marches. Oh yeah. We all with us, Stock Hop City. Tortuguita vive, la lucha sigue. Glory to the martyrs. Another banner has been hung outside the window. You have the one that says Free Palestine. This was changed to Heinz Hall. Memory of a 5-year-old child who was murdered in Palestine by the IDF bombs. And so it's they took over the building to honor the martyrs, they're saying. Or they've said. I don't know what they're saying today. All right, so we're waiting for one more interview with some folks now, and then we'll probably scoot around then, or maybe just take this down for a while. This is what it's like every day, every night, I think. People are gathering here to show their solidarity with the encampments. The police are monitoring at different levels of sort of pressure. You know, they did roll by earlier with like a little convoy of police vehicles, lights flashing. You know, it's like letting people know they have a presence here, and the students and their supporters letting them know that there's also a presence here. Again, if you're just joining, this is Lorenzo Sutton. We're here outside Columbia University. Student protests on the inside, supporters on the outside. These folks? Never mind. I got that wrong. I'm just talking. Shouldn't let me talk. All right, hold on a second. I'm just trying to get my headphones on. Okay, so what's going on? We're here at the university. There's multiple helicopters overhead, a lot of onlookers, a lot of press across the street, waiting for, I assume, their newscast, because they all have lights set up, just waiting to do their live report with the protests in the background. The encampments on the inside. We were able to interview one student who was talking about that he wished that more of the reporting, a journalism student, had more humanity in the facts that, like, humans were dying in real time as these encampments are taking place, and that the stories that you're hearing are just like these minor things, or these smaller things that happen at the encampment over trying to be attention to the cause of Palestine that's going on over there. And so that was a really nice point of view. I don't know, appreciated it. I'm not sure if we can hear that statement from the students and it's their tuition. It's their right to be here. I'm going to try to get closer, I guess.
The movement is more organized
Well, so as this fear mongering is going on, we have a toddler clapping to the chants. Yeah, and I'm just so right now, like the NYPD with the mayor are talking about how dangerous everything is, and as we're here, there's like a toddler clapping along to the chants. Everyone's sort of sitting here, and there was a leading up chants from the inside of the fence to the outside of the fence, and a conversation going back and forth about how they want these barricades and fences to separate everybody, but that is one movement. I think they were talking about how like it's this narrative, like this organization, that's also a false narrative that this has been ongoing organizing for a long time, and it's also like really common every movement. That's one of the things they're always going to say when they're trying to dissolve it. It's like disorganized. That's why yesterday we were talking about like all these media people kind of like, what's going on? Even though they're like literally chanting Disclose, Divest, you know. Like they're like, hey, we're telling you why we're here. And they're like, why is everyone here? You know. Let me show you the amount of media people across the street. It's worth knowing. See all these folks. So like all you can see, there's like these Pelican cases. These are like all the different media people who are out here. When you get to these corners, is where you have all these box lights, right? Each one of those is probably a different. You can see somebody doing a stand-up right there. So each one of them is probably a different media agency just doing the reportage. And it must be a reporting time because all their lights are on now. And they're all reporting with the protests in the background across the street on the other side of those barricades. And they have all that gear. And they're all going to probably leave right afterwards. Yeah, it looks this road is still shut off. I can look down and you see the traffic is stopped kind of like way down the road. So that's why you have all these people now who are walking back and forth in the road. Less worried. Yeah, it looks like the police are saying that if they catch anybody inside the building, they'll be charged with criminal mischief, trespassing, and burglary. The police are also saying that some of the individuals are familiar to them, listing a series of different events that have happened in the past. I'm saying that shit. Thanks. Yeah, so what's going on right now, just so y'all know, is I'm facing the police, talking about what they're talking about. The protest is behind me, and right now there's a press conference going on where the police are saying they're going to arrest folks for criminal mischief and trespassing and burglary if they're inside of any of the buildings, and saying that the police are familiar with some of the individuals who are engaging in this sort of action, and have listed different events. South Papa City, Autonomous Zone in 2020, and OWS in 2011, a solid 13 years ago. Yes, that's the report on the news right now. So it's letting you know that's what's going on as these folks are out here. Again, the police are blocked this road now. I don't know what they're doing. You can see a bus trying to come through. There's multiple police units still moving in, and the protests behind me are just chanting. It feels pretty, I don't know, like people gathering together, show solidarity in Encampment. Okay, we're also waiting for an interview, so I know you're probably like, why is this, what are you doing? But we're waiting for an interview. And then we'll do that interview, and then I'm not sure what we're going to do. We might take the feed down for a little bit. Let me see if anyone's actually even watching. I have no idea. I'm just talking into a microphone. All right. Yeah. I was doing some checks to my studio really quick. A few hundred people watching. Thank you so much for joining us. We're live right now on Twitter, now called X, the most uninventive name of all time, and also YouTube and Facebook. So a few hundred people on all those different platforms. Twitter actually does really good, though. I'll give it that. I guess it's not to call it Twitter, but it looks like they're privileging their lives right now, trying to make sure they get to keep an audience as it slowly degrades. A personal opinion, my opinion. Yeah, so it sounds like the NYPD is saying that Columbia University has not asked them to intervene yet, or as of now. Sorry about the yet. Yeah, I know people want me to move around. I am waiting for an interview really quick. That's why we're here, actually, to bring you an Indigenous perspective of what's going on. We have another interview with an Indigenous student coming up. And so I'm holding here for a minute. And then after that, once we get that interview, we might start traveling around. There is some marches going on. We might try to catch up, or we might just be walking in New York City. I don't know. But we're going to be doing it. We will be moving. It's funny, like a lot of the rhetoric you hear is just like people regurgitating things that somebody told them on a different channel. It's really incredible. All right, I'm gonna check in what's going on here, then we'll make a decision. So the press conference is over. Two of the chat saying that everyone here has very specific political beliefs, which is incredible to believe. It might turn out that a lot of people believe a lot of different things and are being unified by this event that's going on, the ongoing genocide in Palestine. Maybe. All right, well, I'll move through the crowd again. I think after this interview, we're going to take this down, because this is pretty much what it's going to be like. I can swear to you that this will be what it's like for hours. And just so you know, like, the snippets you see on the internet usually are probably the most intense moments, or like when somebody caught something that they wanted to like focus only on. But it's really just a lot of people coming together trying to show solidarity with the encampment on the inside. You heard it say divest, disclose, divest, disclose where the endowment is invested in, and then divest from warmongering and war, like the war military-industrial complex that is the United States. Most of the time. Jeez. Ooh, it's getting chilly. I'm wearing a coat, thankfully. And I haven't had to run, also thankfully. And you're watching this on the Indian Collective. I am your host, Lorenzo Sarna. I'm just the one walking around with the camera right now. I'm the director of tactical media here at NDN. I'm Chicane. My pronouns are they, them. I'm really thankful to be here. To bring this to you, again, like part of the reason we're here is that we know this is international news. Just know this is something you're hearing about at home a lot. And we just wanted to come and just show you what it's like on the ground so you can kind of see for yourself. This has been an uninterrupted stream now for maybe an hour. I'm not sure how long I've been up. Probably got to find out soon. There might be a battery change coming up. But also we were here last night when students took over Hamilton Hall, which is now Heinz Hall. And again, it was much the same. The NYPD wasn't like rushing in. Again, it looks like they're waiting for the okay from Columbia from what they just said in their press conference. And yeah. So yeah, this is what it's like. There you go. You can see that for yourself. This is also just Columbia. There is a multitude of universities across the world now that have started solidarity encampments with the ongoing movement here by students. It's a worldwide student movement, worldwide anti-war movement. Feels like it's really bubbling. So yeah. We're just waiting, everybody. We're hopefully almost there. And then we'll wrap it up for a bit, make some decisions, maybe relocate, take a look around the city. This is what Columbia looks like right now. Yeah, I think we have about 400 people watching across all platforms right now. So thank you all so much for joining us. And I guess check it out for yourself. All right. So I've been live for 1 hour and 8 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and read through a bunch of information to kind of give you context of what's going on. So Canada's McGill University is requesting police assistance in a campus protest April 30th. John Hopkins protesters agree to disperse encampment following hours-long meeting with administration. Cal Poly Humboldt says police have cleared buildings occupied since last week and restored order, in quotes. Nadu gave a speech about being targeted by the International Criminal Court for war crimes. So the criminal court is targeting him with crimes. Kind of funny. It's terrifying, but just don't think about it. President Joe Biden condemned the fierce surge of anti-Semitism that many Jewish Americans face in the Proclamation Tuesday for Jewish American Heritage Month. And so, yeah, the administration's been very against these the protests, the encampments, sort of daily sharing that rhetoric. In Austin, Texas, police moved into the campus. Also, students in France were holding space, and the police went in after them. And there's protests in Montreal and other parts of Canada. That's why we're saying that this is an international movement now. I've heard Japan as well. Virginia encampment was attacked by police. A lot of different police actions that are happening across the country in the United States. Yeah, and there's been a lot of information. It seems like a lot of people are just sort of like lighting it up, telling people what's going on, where, sort of like how to deal with different encounters with like law enforcement, trying to prepare people for, you know, knowing how to hold their space, or also just understanding that the police do at times have, you know, all the violence at hand to use. I'm gonna switch batteries, so we're gonna take this feed. We'll be down for a second. We're gonna move to a Be Right Back page. So if you're gonna hold on with me, I'll be right back. Oh yeah, before I go, let's know that it's campus at CUNY, Columbia, FIT, the New School, and NYU here in New York City. So multiple encampments. We'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. We should be back now. Let me double check, triple check, quadruple check. Just making sure that we're back up. Okay, cool. All right, so we switched batteries. We've got another good hour. I actually have a lot of time. We're not going nowhere for a bit. I can see the police over here in some sort of discussion. They're moving like barricades, trying to reorganize stuff. Police are bringing in lights over here. Yeah, so it looks like they shut down these roads, and now they're bringing out floodlights. At least on that side is a floodlight going up. It looks like this road, they're going to put floodlights underneath this bridge. All right. So the University of South Florida right now is being they're deploying multiple rounds of tear gas and rubber bullets into protesters in the University of South Florida right now at an encampment. And so yeah, so like this is all happening sort of at the same time. It's probably really hard to track where you're at. There's like so many encampments now that have spread, and also like the responses to the authorities are varied. You saw again people calling for just like instant dispersal, or I don't know, raiding, just using like violence to disperse. There's encampments which people have fought back in different places, including Texas, where you saw that scene I think a couple days ago where they're like marching the police out. The police were like very high kitted up, riot gear and munitions, but still there were so many people they just walked themselves out. Yeah, it looks like the trains are being not stopping or something at this stop. Oh yeah, I'm wrong. I'm just getting text from the person we're trying to talk to. So we're gonna walk through the crowd really quick.
I believe that we will win. 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 I believe that we will win.
I might as well look at the lights. Why not? So the police take it over. It looks like the hole underneath this bridge. I'm gonna go this far, and you can see like they're setting up floodlights. It looks like they have like 4 sets of them. I don't think they have a. So it looks like they set up 4 of them underneath this bridge. There you go. Information. So that's what's going on the other side. past. So now this whole road's basically just there's more floodlights coming in. They got this van, I don't know. More floodlights. That's 6 sets of floodlights. There's another one. Now we got 6. Let's go listen. There's some people speaking from the inside.
He's enjoying his position, man.
Let's keep it loud and let's say it clear. We don't want no Zionists here. We don't want no Zionists here. Say it loud, say it clear. Say it loud, say it clear. We don't want no Zionists here. We don't want no Zionists here. Say it clear, say it loud. Say it clear, say it loud. Hostile, you make us proud. Hostile, you make us proud. Say it clear, say it loud. Say it clear, say it loud. Hostile, you make us proud. Hostile, you make us proud. Say it loud, say it clear. Say it loud, say it clear. We don't want no Zionists here. We don't want no Zionists here. We demand liberation. We demand liberation. End the Zionist occupation. End the Zionist occupation. Say it loud, say it clear. We don't want no Zionists here. And the streets on Gaza now. We want justice, you say how? And the streets on Gaza now. We demand liberation.
Oh, we're good. Probably stay up for another 20 minutes, so then I'm going to take the feed down so everyone knows. Alright. I don't know who those folks are. We have security. Yeah, we're just waiting to see if they still are going to be able to make it. It sounds like there's some travel disruptions, they feel like, and so it's taking a little bit longer than we had hoped. The press here, some of them have at least like security or people watching over them. Somebody brought their dog. There's all the press and their stand-ups. What time is it? Is it that time? There's a lot. I don't know. It looks like the police are moving the lights away. Kind of funny. I'm not sure what their plan is. You saw the earlier barricade fiasco. Oh yeah, it's a lot.
So bad for the university. Like, free Palestine.
Okay, we're only here for today. We'll be leaving tomorrow, and then we'll continue our coverage of everything we can, I guess. Probably through the week, and then after the week, I'll be back in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We'll go from there. Yeah, so we're just waiting. We're going to wait, like I said, 20 more minutes, probably like 15 now. Then we're probably going to take this down. Looks like some people are bringing some drinks in, just for thirsty folks. I think there's bottles of water, the old red cups.
Palestine is our demand. On stolen land. No peace on stolen land. We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? End the siege on Gaza now. End the siege on Gaza now. We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? End the siege on Gaza now. End the siege on Gaza now. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Now. What do we want? Justice.
Found its way into that little spot. Guys, like, they have so much to carry, it's wild.
We will not stop, we will not rest Disclose. Divest. We will not stop, we will not rest Disclose. Divest. We will not stop, we will not rest Disclose. Divest. We will not stop.
listen, I'm looking a little rugged. That's all you're going to see of me. This glad to be able to bring you out here. Again, my name is Nancy Sepna. I wish I had brought a razor. I didn't. All right, that's going to happen. Let's see here. You're going to be talking at this little microphone right on the top. Just talk straight at it. And this, you want to introduce yourself? Let us know where we're at.
Hello, relatives, friends. Right now, we are outside of Columbia's gates. And we are outside of Columbia's gates because they have restricted access today. Only students who live within the residential campus, so that only includes freshman students, who are allowed today. What this did is it cut off students who rely on food sources, dining halls, who have been scheduled to evictions, who are facing suspension. Students who rely on food resources have been cut off today. Today, I have seen windows being screwed shut. We have been told this encampment has been dangerous. It's been a fire hazard, but today they screwed the window shut so nobody could get out. This is the most surveillance we've ever been, and as Native peoples, this is something we're used to. But right now, we are in a place that is supposed to be like a place with like a lot of privilege, but we see our black and brown relatives who are advocating for Palestinian liberation being silenced over and over again. And the thing is, this encampment wasn't the original intention. SJP, Students Justice for Palestine, Jewish Voices for Peace, they have been advocating forever. Even since I've been in Colombia for the past 5-6 years, they have been advocating since I remember to recognize Palestinian liberation. And after October 7th, the first initial protest happened on October 12th. And this initiated a storm within the community. In particular, a storm that really struck home as Indigenous peoples, where we are villainized for protecting our lands, be that wanting to remove a telescope at Mauna Kea, or standing to resist pipelines in front of different bulldozers. That is something we're used to. We're used to being called terrorists. But here, it's been escalated to a level that even if you say you're pro-Palestinian, you are automatically categorized as a terrorist. And as somebody who has Palestinian friends, as somebody who has other friends that come from colonized nations around the world, beyond Turtle Island, this is something we can't stand for. How are we as Indigenous peoples who've experienced genocide, who've experienced displacement, how are we not advocating for a people who's experiencing right in our own eyes, who's experiencing it in the same way we have seen it and we've experienced those same outcomes and continued displacement today? So what is happening now that we are seeing is an outcome of an administration who fails to recognize Palestinian liberation, who fails to even mention the word Palestinian, who fails to mention the word Islamophobia, anti-Arab. And every single statement that Manu Shafiq has had, President Rosenberg, who's the president of Barnard, right now I'm a grad student at Teachers College, President Bailey, they have not used the words pro-Palestinian. Never in their statements at all, and to them that's something that they're allergic to. And I think many of us students, considering the occupation we have here in this building in Hamilton Hall, which is an extension of an anti-war protest beginning in 1968 with the Vietnam War. Seeing that here, this is how much they care about the world, how they care about liberation and the freedom of colonized peoples. That is how much they care for it. And since the start of the encampment has been, I consider the encampment going on 14 days. That includes the 100+ arrests that happened on the very second day. That includes all of the threats and intimidations by administration, threatening suspensions, that some are arbitrary. Right now, a lot of people who weren't even on campus are receiving suspensions, threatening eviction to our students, Barnard students in particular, who have faced the harshest of these consequences, just for standing up for Palestinian liberation. I think it's an atrocity, and we've been labelized as villains. I think we've been called the worst things. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. What else do you want to know?
Well, so you're saying there's a history of the students taking over this building.
Exactly. This building is called Hamilton Hall. If you are familiar with the history of Columbia actually started out as King's College, and this was prior to the Revolutionary War, so we were under the King George and whatever. And then America somehow founded itself, but as an institution, it celebrates genocide. It's named after Christopher Columbus. But yeah, big group. But the hall is named after Alexander Hamilton, who was one of the founders of the United States. So in 1968, a group of students actually came in and occupied the building in protest to all of the connections, arming the military. That could include studies, actual physical, financial contributions, and they had stormed the building, took the whole thing, and in that, I don't think many people realize when they occupied that, they had different classes. They were learning in community. They were learning mutual aid in that space. And in the same way, we saw that reflected in the encampment that was there. We've had students tell us, this is the best I've eaten all year. And this was all food donated by community members coming in. But in that building, going back to that, it happened in 1968. This is the time during the Vietnam War. And of course, the U.S. is an empire, and as empires do, they rule. And so a lot of students collectively came together, stormed the building, and they occupied this. So, and to this day, Columbia, this is one of Columbia's selling points to our admitted students. I've worked at the admissions office, this is something I know. We highlight that movement. We highlight the student protests, to be able to say anti-war, to be saying no to genocide. But now as we're experiencing to this day, that's not getting the same celebration. And the reality of this matter is that in 20+ years, this is going to be a moment where they're celebrating pro-Palestinian liberation, where they're celebrating Hind Ha.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too across the nation. Like students, you're going to be recalling this in 20 years to recruit people.
Yeah.
And right now you're going to villainize us. And like you're saying, there's a history of student movements right here. Because another thing I hear is people nobody would ever take over a building. And it's that's happened. It's happened before. So thank you for that context. One more question is sort of as somebody who's been here for days, has been hearing about, experiencing it. What do you think are the biggest gaps that people are getting in, based on being here versus seeing this on the internet way removed by different media sources? And you can see all the different media people on the other side of the road reporting.
I don't think media ever captures humanity. It picks and chooses who gets to be human. And as Indigenous peoples, we recognize that. We recognize that in our history books that we read all the time. Media is not capturing the community we built here. I have communicated with people from all schools, all walks of life, in a matter of 14 days that I would have talked with. I've engaged in conversation about them, about not only Palestinian liberation, about the connections we have in Kashmir, about the connections we have as Indigenous peoples and where we led a teach-in talking about land back and how that connects to Palestine. Those are connections I would have never had in the classroom. That is what they are missing. As in Columbia, I would have never called Columbia a community prior to this. But now, as I'm seeing students rise up, show their voices, be steadfast and strong for each other, that was community, and that is not what they are capturing in this encampment, in this movement. There's a strong solidarity that we have with all students. Be that somebody that is Jewish, somebody that is Black, Indigenous, all walks of life. There's that strong connection that they fail to realize and instead want to villainize that connection.
I think I said last question before. I'm going to do it again. I guess like to other Indigenous people, you know, like our organization, we're an all Indigenous organization dedicated to self-determination of Indigenous people. We have a whole position paper. The right of return is land back. We stand with the Palestinian people as Indigenous people. And I guess what would you tell other Indigenous people who like don't see the connections? Like, how would you try to explain it to them?
I think I grew up with a lot of stories from my grandmother, from my dad, and those stories are truths, and every single family has their own stories that they need to tell. I know for me, the realization of who we are as Indigenous peoples came from actually experiencing it, but also voicing it to people in my community who are going around. I really think people who want to see these connections, or maybe aren't realizing those connections, I think it revolves, of course, a mode of reflection of your own identity, but it also requires you to be uncomfortable, to realize not only your positionality, but the positionality you hold. We as Indigenous peoples, like sadly, like we have some upper ground here as Indigenous peoples. We have U.S. citizenship. Many of us, some of us may or may not have our own families, still connected with our culture and our language. But I think the last part I would really strongly suggest is listen to Palestinian people. Listen to Palestinian voices. As Indigenous peoples, we have always overshadowed, people talk over us, and that's the same thing that's happened with Palestinian voices. That's what the media is doing. That's what our textbooks have been talking about. The people of Palestine, we've seen on the media, we've seen the photos, we've seen the videos. They have been screaming for so long. And I think it's time that we just need to open our eyes, be uncomfortable, learn from that, and then take action.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. All right, so that was our second interview. Hours and hours. Thank you so much for that perspective from an Indigenous student here. And then we heard that again where like the main media, I'm not going to say mainstream media because I feel like this media in general, like there's people out here who are just kind of like in their own channels trying to rile up their own like constituents and their own little patrons and all that stuff. They're just trying to get something out of it. And what both people we talked to, both Indigenous students said that what's been missing is the humanity, the humanness of what's happening here. Oh, and just to show the vileness again, like what's going to be the most extravagant, what's going to bring the most eyes to whoever's page they're trying to make traffic to make money. And in that process of that sort of journalism, they're missing the fact that these are all human beings who are out here trying to like bring attention to this devastation that's going on in Gaza right now. The ongoing genocide that's going on in Gaza. They're preparing to go into Rafah right now after pushing everyone into Rafah. And those are, those are children. It's just people, human beings, that aren't engaged in conflict besides just existing. And if you look at our page, I'm just talking now. We had a conversation about state repression. So like we're talking about state repression, but there's also like private repression, public repression. You had billboards going around universities calling, like, doxing students for being engaged in this movement. And so there's different ways that people are trying to repress this movement. And in that, we were speaking to a youth Palestinian organizer who was talking about how the people who have died, they're martyrs. And it's something I've never personally understood. But what she was saying, and something that really caught to me when we were in that conversation, we were talking about a young boy who was killed, I think, in Chicago for just being brown, being Palestinian by like a white neighbor. You can look it up, and it really happened. It's devastating. And I reacted to that moment because I had forgotten that it happened. All the terror and ongoing terror of life. When you're like watching what's going on, I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot that happened a few months ago. And I was like devastated. And I don't think I communicated that well, but she communicated that, like, the people who are dying aren't dying in vain. They're not being murdered in vain. They're actually martyrs and for the liberation of Palestinian people. that their existence is not in vain. Their being taken isn't in vain. And I think it was a way for me to try to understand that. Because again, this isn't where I come from. You know, I'm also learning. I'm out here, and so I appreciate that perspective. And I just wanted to share that as I sit here thinking about the conversations we're having and the humanity that seems to be lacking in the reporting you're getting from other places. As you know, like these are encampments, they're communities. People are making community how they know how. They're sharing food, they're bringing water, they're telling stories. For Indigenous people, we know what it's like to hold a space together and how funny it can get. If you're at different places, we're hanging out, it's dark, there's a fire, we're just talking to pass the time. And that's what's happening here with a wide variety of students from a bunch of different backgrounds. As you heard, like Jewish students, Muslim students, Christian students, white, black, brown, Indigenous, just like everyone's out here. They're all together. There's obviously opposing forces who feel differently, but in the end, that community and that existence and being able to hold that space together is what seems to want to be uplifted from what I'm hearing, and also the understanding that like this is about stopping the genocide in Palestine. To try to get these universities to disclose their endowments, and then to divest those endowments from the military-industrial complex, which is pretty much the United States. We go back a few months, they were like talking about one of these big weapons packages. I can't remember exactly which senator, but they're like, you understand, like we give this weapon, we're just selling our own weapons to them, and they have to pay us for them with the money, and then we just make them. You know, it's like a good business deal. And like they just like say it, you know, it doesn't matter. Like we're gonna sell these bombs. We made the bombs, now we have customers, you know. And there's students are saying, hey, this is our money, and we guys would rather not have it spent on making more and more bombs, and maybe let's do something else with that money, which isn't really unreasonable, I don't think. So I'm gonna check really quick. All the time. So I'm going to take this down, like I said. I just wanted to get those interviews. That was really what we were doing. Just want to bring just our relatives out here. We know that you're out there too, just watching what's going on. You're hearing it from the different feeds. You're getting different stories. You can see here, this person actually has Gaza to their hind hall, defund, divest, free us all. And then it has the years it was occupied, which is in 68, 85, 2024, student vision, student heart. So again, that building's been taken over 3 different times now. So we talked about that earlier. Somebody in the chat was like, how could someone take over a building? It's like, actually, that's like happened. You know, like you just got to read a couple books about what happened in the past. But, let's check in. Let me look at the chat really quick. Again, I would let us set that. I'm sure a lot of you are on there watching with massive amounts of disagreement. Enjoy that. Thanks to everybody else who's bearing along with me. Alright, there's a bunch of chats trying to catch up really quick. Yeah, whatever. It's good. Oh my gosh, so many things. I can't read them. They're going by too fast. Oh. Cute. Well, thanks for joining us. Follow, like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. This is probably ongoing. I just take a look around. There's a lot of different feeds out here.